What's going on, everybody? Anthony Campo here, Chief Coach at Battle Ready Business. And on today's episode, I want to talk to you about how to work with your family. So sit back, relax, and I'll see you on the other side. All right. So I want to build on yesterday's, the last episode of working with your family, working with your spouse by talking about working with your family. So back in 2004, my mom helped me and helped me start a business, and we were separate. And then someone merged us together, advised us to merge together, create one company to join forces so that, we could fly the same flag and be stronger together than when we were apart. So she took her 2 locations and I took my 1 location, and we created one company. And then just a few months after that, my sister raised her hand and said, "Hey, I want to quit my job and I want to go full head into that." And that kicked off a growth from 2 facilities into 10 facilities within about 2 years. And when we came together, it made sense to, all be under the same flag. But at that time, being young and everybody else not thinking about it, we didn't set the rules of engagement of kind of like our constitution, right? The company has bylaws and all that stuff, but that was just a formality, right? No one really was like, okay, well, how are you going to do this? And what are going to be the terms? And who's going to make decisions? And whatever. They just said, well, when my mom and I first signed up, it was like, well, she has 2 facilities. I have 1. 3, I have 1/3. She has 2/3. Let's just do it like that. And, not knowing what we were getting into, we didn't foresee certain issues. Our arrangement between ourselves was like the Articles of Confederation. Each of us was our own state. We were kind of governing ourselves. We kind of had crossover, but it wasn't as unified as it should be, right? And then, the biggest thing, then it began run into conflict. And, whoops, hit a wrong button. And we ran into started running into conflict because no one was the leader, right? No one was the absolute authority and the leader and all that stuff, right? And as we grew, it just kind of misaligned things, and we were in the situation where what I did affected you and what you did affected me, even if I didn't agree with it and all this other stuff. So, and then we get into, when I first started I started these facilities, and I was like, oh my gosh, after a while, I was like, whoa, what if we had 20 of these? What if we did this? What if we did that? Oh, if we could do this, we could do that. And right, I had all these big visions and goals, and I was 24, 25 years old, and I was like, I have everything in front of me. I can build an empire from here, right? But then we kind of ran into this, who was in charge? Who's leading? And if I'm to lead myself, are you guys going to follow? And it was like this weird dynamic, right? I had this big vision, but it didn't align with their vision, right? My mom at the time was just like, I'm kind of like, okay, whatever. And then my sister was like, I don't want to go anything near with that. I just quit a corporate job. I don't want to make my own corporation where I'm living a corporate lifestyle. And she didn't want to get anything a part of that. And then, what we valued and all this other stuff, like my values and vision and mission were different than my mom's values, mission, and vision, and were different than my sister's mission and vision and values. And nothing got done, right? To the level that it could be done, right? And progress was a little slow, and things weren't all, initiative and all this other stuff, right? And, not, one of the biggest things is not any of us were playing in our zone of greatness, right? My sister was really good at, face-to-face sales. She was in medical sales prior to that. My mom was, in real estate and, she kind of led the charge and started this company. And then, behind the scenes, I was kind of putting things together. So we kind of did, but we never really kind of unified that and solidified that and said, okay, let's go. Right? And that led for me to get into a big frustration because I'm like, man, I'm just getting started. What do I do? Like, I'm so frustrated. What I do is going to affect them, like I said before. And, I just kept running into a wall, right? And, I look back and there's things that I could have changed. And then I finally realized that, like, look, this isn't just going to work. This isn't going to, like, as we are, we're not going to operate and we're just going to keep running into conflict. And here's the lesson that I want to teach you today. And I want you to take away with and it's different from yesterday. I understand yesterday was about how to balance the relationship between your spouse, right? But this builds upon that is that, this situation that your values, vision, and mission did not align. And no one had talked to me about that. Obviously, we just went and did things until I had a fitness coach really ask me, hey man, like, what's your vision, mission, and vision? Like, I was like, what do you mean? What is that? Like, I was like, well, what are those things? And what do you value? I'm like, values? What do you mean? We just go do business, right? And so if you have a partner, if you have, family that you're working with, like, you've got to do this. You've got to do this exercise and sit down and say, what's your vision? What do you want to get out of this, right? And what role are you willing to play? What responsibility are you willing to take? And what power are you really willing to relinquish? Because really no one was willing to relinquish power. And that was a big problem. Like, it's fine if you don't have the same vision. Okay, let's build it. Let's operate and build the way that it's meant to, where we could kind of structure it so that you can get what you want, you can get what you want, and I can get what I want. That's the biggest thing, like mission, vision, core values of like what you value and what you're going to be doing and what role do you see yourself playing, time. Dig down into this. It's a very important thing, right? So if you're in a family business and you're having some issues and stuff, like, just sit down and go through this, right? And you either, like, I had a decision to, like, go off on my own, break off and rebrand and do all this other stuff, or lead the charge and do all this other stuff. And I eventually just chose to kind of push it off, go off and do my own thing in a completely different business. So, yeah. So where are you guys? Like, if you're having an issue, what's the issue? Hit me up on social media. Email me at Anthony@BattleReadyBusiness. Love to hear what challenges you're having, because these are some of the most interesting and touching and touchy and sensitive type of dynamics, right? If it's just a business partner that you are you like and you're kind of friends with, it's different than having it your mom or your sister, brother, father, anybody like that. So we've all seen Orange County Choppers and that whole situation, and those are the blow-ups that those guys had. So yeah, love to hear what your stories are about. If you are a business owner that have 3 to 20 people and you want a little bit of help with building this battle ready business so your team, your soldiers, your army can move effectively, efficiently, and precisely, head over to battlereadybusiness.com/go and we can get that conversation started. So I look forward to supporting you, and I hope you have a great day.